Quite often, we see comments suggesting that creative hobbies and being minimalist don't go well together. While we'll be the first to admit that we're not the most creative or artsy people, I think we can at least say that we do have creative hobbies. Here's our experience. In 2012, I got into the hobby of filmmaking. I bought my first camera, one of the lowest end DSLR from Canon, 2 lenses, a tripod, and a microphone. Fast forward 8 years, in 2020, this setup is still responsible for more than 90% of what you see on our videos today. This starting kit has been with me all the way back from a time when I was absolutely clueless to now where I'm starting to feel like I actually have an idea of what I'm doing. And for all the experience that they have given me, they have their share of battle scars to show for it. HL's creative hobby is drawing. She used to draw when she was a kid, but it's something that she just kinda stopped doing when she was a teenager. A couple years back, I got her a drawing tablet for less than $30, hoping to help her reconnect with her creative side and maybe turning that hobby into something bigger. Today, all the illustrations that you see in our content are drawn by her on this cheap, tiny tablet. Acquiring shiny new gear is often a huge temptation and a never-ending cycle in many hobbies. Maybe it's our sheer superhuman self-control, or maybe it's the fact that camera gear is so damn expensive and we're not made of money, but for the longest time, we didn't have the need to upgrade. I did add one item to my kit, this smartphone gimbal by Zhiyun. While we don't really shoot with our smartphones for the videos on this channel, this is a great accessory for my personal projects. When Zhiyun learned that we are happy owners of the Smooth Q, they reached out to us to sponsor this video to celebrate the launch of the new smartphone gimbal, the Smooth X. Stick around until the end where we share more about the cool new gimbal. There have been a few advantages to sticking with the same entry-level equipment for 8 years. First, the more I worked with what I have, the more I learned what I actually need. That assures me that I'll make wiser decisions when it comes to purchasing camera gear in the future. Secondly, it has forced me to be creative to squeeze every bit of performance out of my kit, improving my skills in the process. And the cool thing is, I believe that there's still plenty of potential in this 8-year-old setup that I've yet to fully tap into. The main thing that we took away from this is to never let collecting gear get in the way of the hobby itself. While my kit has largely remained the same over the years, there's been a drastic improvement in what I've been able to produce with this same set of equipment. In hobbies that require any kind of skill, the amount of fun and enjoyment we can get out of it is often not limited by our gear, but how much time and practice we've put into the craft. Shortly after moving to our new home, we decided to commit to creating content, turning our creative hobbies into something more serious. We quickly saw the limitations of our original set of gear. What we need started to change as we transitioned from doing it as a hobby to doing it as our job. First issue, due to space constraints, we couldn't go wide enough for some of the shots that we wanted, so we got a second-hand wide-angle lens. Second issue, as we rely on natural light for our videos, it gets incredibly frustrating when the weather is not on our side, as our camera, relatively outdated by today's standards, struggles on a cloudy or rainy day where there's not as much light. So we got this LED light, but we really only use this as a last resort on those dark and gloomy days. We also got a top handle to help make any handheld shots a little more stable, and it just generally makes it more convenient and efficient to move the camera around. Strictly speaking, none of these are stuff that we can't live without. But they make our lives so much easier, we would say that we need them to do our job more efficiently. And being able to do our job more efficiently can be the difference between uploading a video on time and not uploading a video on time. Not only do different people have different needs, a person can have different needs at different stages of their hobby career as well. Perhaps due to the way that both of us were brought up, we have the habit of using our stuff to the absolute death. Some might think that being minimalist means we would jump at the chance to throw stuff away, but we actually struggle with discarding or replacing our worn-out items if we feel that there's even a tiny bit of life left in them. My first camera still has some life left in it, but recently it hasn't been very cooperative when we urgently needed it to be. I think it's about time for it to be demoted to the role of B camera. At the end of the day, we are less obsessed about being minimalist than we are obsessed about just being happy. No matter if you are into creative hobbies or sports hobbies, regardless of what anyone says, you can enjoy them and still live minimally as long as you're happy and you truly value every item that comes with those hobbies. And if you're truly happy, then there's no need to answer to anyone or compare with the next person who has nicer, shinier gear, or the minimalist content creators who are only minimalist because they are super not creative. As they say, comparison is the thief of joy. If you're looking to get into the hobby of making videos in 2020, chances are you already have a pretty capable camera on your smartphone. That can be a great starting point, but because the phone is so small and light, the footage that comes out of it tends to be shaky and not very pleasing to the eye. That's why I got this gimbal back then, and that's why you may be interested in the new Smooth X by Zhiyun. The Smooth X helps to stabilize videos shot on your smartphone. While it's a 2-axis gimbal, as compared to say a 3-axis gimbal like my Smooth Q, what you get in return is perhaps the smallest, lightest and most portable stabilizer that's available. Camera stabilizers used to be really expensive pieces of equipment. I remember because I couldn't justify the cost of even the cheapest gimbal on the market a few years ago. So it's quite incredible that today you can get a smartphone gimbal from a reputable brand that costs just $60. If you're interested in shooting better videos with a smartphone, check out the Smooth X with the link in the description down below. You can also get 10% off the Smooth X if you use this code at checkout. Keep enjoying your hobbies and thank you for watching.